Everybody, I wanted to jump on here today and kind of do an Etsy shop update. I've been working this summer to get my inventory built up for my upcoming fall shows, and I'm just kind of going through everything, making sure everything's up to date, everything's ready to go. And I thought I would jump on here and kind of go over what all's in my Etsy shop currently available. I do my flip throughs on my journals when I get done with them, and sometimes I remember to mention that they're on Etsy, and sometimes I don't, and most of the times I don't. So, and some of these journals, again, I've worked on all summer, and I may have done a flip through a month or so ago, and so I just wanted to kind of go over, kind of quickly run through and tell you about the journals I have in my shop, because again, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is making sure everything's up to date, everything's good to go, and get ready for the fall and holiday season. So anyways, there we are. I'm going to start with, I have three, these are blank journals made out of older hardcover books. They are each, oh no, there's more. I thought they were one signature, but this one is three signatures, and they're all three signatures, but they're considered blank journals. So they have this one, Old Fashioned Girl, original cover. Basically just has a variety of pink papers, tan papers. Some are thicker cardstock, some are thinner like copy paper, but it's perfect to create your own, do your own thing in. And so yeah, it's good if you're looking for something that's already, it's got some wiggle room to be able to add ephemera and all that. It's not gator mouthed or anything like that. It's ready to go to use as a, my apologies, the airplanes are flying by. To use as a writing journal, or to use as a journal that you want to create in. Same kind of deal with this one. This one I think is titled Black and White and Red Children. It's out of an old hardback. It has pieces of a book in it. I think pages from this book, actually. The children played for 10 minutes. But other than that, it's blank pages. Plenty of room for journaling. It's not gator mouth, so there's plenty of room to add more. Same one for this one. This one is titled Black and White and Red Dictionary. I've embellished it with some dictionary page on the front and back cover, and all throughout is little flaps of dictionary page for extra journaling space or decoration or whatever. It again is, excuse me, blank, not gator mouth, ready to add your own ephemera or to journal your little hearts out. I have a handful of these cloth covered small journals. They are mostly blank. Let's see here. These are small journals, one signature. This one is filled with some boiled book pages. All the pages are like a heavier cardstock. But they've all been dyed. You can see kind of the floral prints. There's a really cool one. Some of the back side is a scrapbook. So it's blank, but it's got some really cool pages in it. You can, again, add your own ephemera or use it for plenty of journaling. I've got two of these. I think they're titled under Rustic. They are each one signature. Yeah, and they're very similar. Cloth cover. The inside pages are also, you've got some heavier cardstock paper. There's plenty of pockets throughout. And then there's plenty of blank journaling pages to add your own ephemera or to journal your hearts out. I think there's two of those in my Etsy shop right now. This one is another one of the boiled books. It's a cloth cover. tied with a sari silk, and it's got a applique sewn to the front. This is another one of the floral. This mostly has a green color, green paper, green tinted, but it's also a boiled book or echo dyed. It's got some really cool leaf print, flower print pages. Some of these pages are thicker cardstock. So again, blank for your own creating. I have two of these. I think they're both, yep, they're very similar. They're both very similar. Cloth covered, tied with a sari silk. So they have a really soft cover. These are both steampunked, but they also have a variety of other pages. They're blank, essentially, but there is some ledger paper and books from pages from a book about mechanical stuff. I love that image right there. I think that's so cool. So blank for plenty of journaling or to create your own ephemera. Again, these are both steampunked, themed, with the gray and the black. The cloth covered here is echo dyed as well. You can see the leaf prints and all that. Another one that's got the steampunk type pages in it. So those two are both available. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have these two were made out of Reader's Digest books, so they're perfect size, nice and handy. One is called Nature Bits, and the other is called Tree Hugger. This one is Nature Bits. This one's Tree Hugger. It's got a piece of bark on it. So I'll quickly do a flip through. They're very similar. Pretty simple journal. There's not a whole lot of ephemera in here, but there is some Nature Bits. Again, it's a Nature Bits themed journal. Cards, postcards, playing cards, some greens and browns, coffee dyed paper, pockets to tuck all your goodies in. Lots of journaling space. There's a flip out pocket full of goodies. These are both pretty simple journals, so there's lots of room to add more, continue creating with. So this one is Nature Bits, and this one is Tree Hugger. Again, this one's got the hard bark on it. This one has mostly tree themed pages in it. Tree themed playing cards, stickers throughout. It's got some leaves and some fabric sewn on the edges. Tree postcards. Some coffee dyed paper in here. Again, very much tree themed. This is a flip out card that's got a tree on it. So this one is called Tree Hugger. Again, there's another tag for writing space with tree stump on it. It's available as well. And let's see here. What do we have? What else do we have? I have two more fabric covered. These are very similar as well. They're the Garden Gnome green and Garden Gnome blue. Again, fabric covers, soft covers. They're like a spring garden. There's some lace trim. This one has got extra bits in it for you to create your own. There's a picture frame. Plenty of writing space. Some color pages. More bits to create with, journal with. More tags. It is one signature as well. Again, this is the green Garden Gnome fabric cover. Here's the blue one. Again, very similar. Lace trimming. Plenty of bits to play with. Plenty of places to journal. This one has a fabric flip in it. Hide your secrets under there. It's got some flip outs. Little goodies tucked in throughout. Again, that is the blue Garden Gnome journal and the green Garden Gnome journal. Again, one signature, pretty simple journals. So, let me see here. This is one of my older ones. It's an Asian themed. It's an older book cover, hardcover. It's got a tassel with some Asian charms on it. It's got a paper doll, an Asian woman. This is a true junk journal. It's full of junk. It's got some music notes in it that are the China Night. So they're basically Chinese, but music sheets. Lots of Asian ephemera in here. Some Asian book pages. Some Sumi ink painting scraps. Again, full of Asian themed, all sorts of sizes of pages. Lots of little pieces tucked in here. Yes, that is an egg roll wrapper. Nice and junky for this junk journal. This was a fun one to make. It was a little bit of a challenge because, again, the pages are all different pages, different sizes, and all that good stuff. But it was fun. It is tied with a thin string, but it has the Asian coins on it. So it is available as well. One of my favorites, which it's hard to have favorites when you have so many of them. This one is Crow's Nest Journal. It is 4 signatures. Blacks and pinks and grays are the color theme with this. Tied with a gray sari silk piece. Again, blacks and grays. This is there's a lot of to-do lists throughout here. There are quite a few crows tucked throughout here. Lots of sewing. There's another to-do list. Plenty of journaling space. Journal cards tucked throughout. Crow feather journal card. There's another journal card with a crow on it. Again, lots of little to-do lists throughout. It's got some lace trim. Lots of stitching throughout. It's another tag with crow feathers. A little bit of collage, fabric, and paper. The pages in here are hand-dyed. I'm gonna say they're avocado. It's been a little while since I did this, but they're the pink color, so I'm gonna say they're avocado dyed. Have a little to-do list. Little scrappy bits with a crow. So this one is very much a to-do list type journal. Lots of journaling space, but lots of places to write down things you need to do, things you're working on, things like that. So this is the Crow's Nest. Next up, we have, I call this Blue Dorothy. It's an older vintage book, trimmed in lace. The blue ribbon to tie it. It's a hardcover book. Didn't do anything fancy on the inside covers, except for adding the lace. There's lace trim on the edges. This one has vintage women throughout, postcards, things like that, and trims, you know, the ephemera is blue trimmed. There's some copy dyed paper, some music sheet paper for writing. Lots of ephemera with women in it. A little tuck spot there. Lots of journaling space. blue floral themed ephemera, coffee dyed paper, lots of tucks and tags. So this one is Blue Dorothy. It's available. This is a fun one. It's teeny tiny. You can see according to my hand. This is a little strawberry journal. It's made out of an old vintage small book. 2 signatures. It's got some cloth strawberries that are kind of raised, sewn on the front, tied with a simple ribbon. This one is small but mighty, packed with lots of sewn pages, lots of red, lots of strawberry pieces, little tuck spots with strawberries, playing cards tucked in throughout, journal cards, all sorts of strawberry type ephemera. Journal card, a song about strawberries, a tag about strawberry jam. All sorts of fun. Very much a strawberry themed. So this one is called Little Strawberry, or Lil L-I-L Strawberry, Lil Strawberry. Next up is, let's see where it's at. Pink Floral. It's a soft cover, cloth covered. Now this one is pretty much blank as well. It's got an applique on the front and a pink flower tied with a sari-ish silk. Lace on the inside that can be used as a little pocket. There are these vintage floral plates throughout, a little bit of lace trim throughout. For the most part, it's a blank journal. There's a little bit of cards and tuck spots in here. A lot of coffee dyed pink paper. Lots of journaling space, or places to create and add more pink floral. Like I said, there's a little bit of pink floral tucked in throughout. Not a lot, though. But it is primed and ready to add more to it. It's 3 signatures, but it's pretty flimsy and pretty soft. So, again, it's got room to grow. Room to grow in that one. Next up is Blue Winter. This is a recent one that I've done. Cloth covered hardback, tied with a grayish silver ribbon. Very shiny. It's got a beaded emblem on the front cover. This one is Blue Winter, winter themed, snowflake themed. Lots of tuck spots. This is some painted fabric. Journal card. Again, blue winter theme, snow theme. Lots of journaling space or room to add more. So that is Blue Winter. I had 2 of these very similar, but I just sold one of them. So that's the one I have left. Mint Green Grunge. This one's a hardcover book. It's got a really long lace tie. I didn't do anything with the, let's see if I got this right side up here. No, I'll get it right side up in a minute. I didn't do anything with the cover. It's got some, again, this is really grungy. I used a kit, not a kit, but some papers that a friend of mine at Derby Art, I believe, sent me. She sent me a handful of her digital papers, and I used it to kind of work throughout this journal. It also has some vintage, just some vintage papers throughout it. mint green. It's got some grungy fabric, ledger paper, some copy dyed paper. Again, vintage. There's a vintage check that I turned into a tag. More copy dyed paper. Little tags and cards. Lace trim throughout. Mint green lace trim. It's got some fabric pieces throughout. Coffee dyed paper. Mint green floral. This was a fun one to do. Like I said, I used her images, her paper, to kind of create something mint green. It is tied with a simple lace, really long piece of lace. It's available. Running out of room to stack these. Next up, this is there's kind of 2 in 1 here. Not really 2 in 1, but there's 2 that I did at the same time. It's using the same book. Raggedy Ann Stories. And when I was doing these, I had this one in my stash, and I found this really old one and fell in love with it because it's so old looking. But as I was going through the book trying to decide how to create my journals, I kept noticing there was like a dark side to this story. And you'll see when I get into it. And so I kind of separated the images and did a bright and colorful Raggedy Ann. It is tied with some blue ribbon with some beads. It's got a little alphabet ribbon as the tassel. This one is very bright and colorful kids' toys. I left the cover like it was. It's got a lot of scribbles. It had a lot of scribbles in it. And so I used that to kind of go with a Child's Play type theme for this. There's a coloring page. I used color scribbles throughout. Used images from the book to create the ephemera. There's buttons and shaker cards and tags all throughout. Again, I used some crayon scribbles, some puzzle pieces. This is a, bright buttons, very much a Child's Play. Using images from the book, using pages from the book that had been scribbled on. Did my own scribbling. Lots of tags and pockets full of goodies. This is 2 signatures. And a little shaker card. More images from the book to create tags and pockets. There's another coloring page. So this is very playful, bright color. There's a little playing card. Bright, colorful, cheerful Raggedy Ann. The other one, I used the darker images out of this book, and by darker I mean more maybe sinister, if that's a word. It's an older book. When I got it from a thrift store. The eyes had been poked out, and so I added some brads there. All these scratches were there. I trimmed it with some fabric, some woven fabric pieces. It's tied with a gray ribbon. Again, left the inside cover as is. This one's kind of got a gray, black, red type color theme to it. The images from the book to me seemed a little more sinister. Here's Raggedy Ann getting pecked by a chicken. So I kind of did this as like a scary doll theme. Avocado dyed paper. There is a wet Raggedy Ann, or paint covered Raggedy Ann. Lots of journaling space. There's some raggedy cloth tags. Here is a scary doll postcard, a Raggedy Ann journal card. You can see she's being clipped by being hung out to dry. Those tuck in there. There's also some weird fabric pieces through here. I'm not gonna say fabric, some sort of fiber. I don't know really what this is, but I had a scrap of it and it was dark and creepy, and so I added it to it. Some gray Rick Rack trim. It's got pockets and flip outs, again using the more sinister or scary images from the book. This is Raggedy Ann in a pot of boiling water. There she is being wrung through the wringer. More scary dolls, more chicken pecking. So this kind of has a scary doll theme. Someone that's into creepy dolls. Here she is in the bird's nest. The birds are picking out her hair. I find this little humorous. I don't know. I just do. There's some more of that weird fabric. It's really weird texture. So, coffee dyed paper. Here she is being hung out to dry again. So yeah, that's the more sinister. I think this one's listed as Raggedy Ann, and I think this one's listed as Raggedy Ann Dark, because it is a little on the dark side. Next up, we have, this one's called my Big B Journal. This one was one of my first ones I did, and I kind of went a little crazy, so it's cram-packed full. But I love it. It is tied with a vintage measuring tape. Lots of stuff going on the cover. It's got some, I don't know if you can really see that, but it's raised honey looking stuff. Little bedazzled bee down here. And again, this is cram-packed full. The measuring tape theme is throughout it, but it has plenty of tags, pockets, bee stuff, painted paper, ledger paper, some dyed paper. It's got pockets to add, if you want to add more stuff. It's got more of the honey throughout it. Some honeycomb themed stuff. More tucked in. Like I said, lots of pockets and tags. Honeybee stuff. Some textured paper. There's some more of the measuring tape theme. There's some eco dyed printed paper. Some little bees tucked in here and there. Some journal cards throughout. There's some more of the textured honey stuff. Painted paper, stamped honeycombs. A lot going on in this chunk. A lot going on in it. So that is Big B. I had a Big B and a Little B, and the Little B has sold. Next up is, this is the only golden book I think I have in my store right now. It's Taylor Swift themed. Got beads and a little ribbon as our dangle. I kept the story intact. It's a little biography book about Taylor Swift, and this is very bright and colorful. There's plenty of pieces to add more, to create and do your own thing. Bejeweled, I believe, is one of her songs. Lots of tags and fun, colorful, bright pockets, note cards. Again, the story is intact with a little bit of embellishment. So this is three signatures. The middle signature doesn't have any of the story with it. Those of you who know little golden books, they break up into 2 signatures. So anytime I do a little golden book, I usually expand the spine, obviously, and add a center signature that's all basic matching pages. There's no story in it, so the story is in the front and the back signature. But again, it's The story is intact. Taylor Swift, for all you Swiftie fans out there. She is in the shop and ready to go. Next up is Pink Llama. 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. Hardcover paper, covered with llama paper, tied with a brown ribbon. Lots of fancy jewels on the side. This one is, of course, llama themed. There's some, it's trimmed with some fuzzy trim. I'm not exactly sure what this is called. It's not really the eyelash trim. It's a little thicker than that, but it reminded me of llama fur. So, pink llama themed. Lots of journaling space throughout here. Lots of fun tuck spots and pink pages. Little postcard tucked in there. Llama stickers throughout. Painted pages throughout. Stenciled pages throughout. There's some stenciling. Just fun and bright and pink. Little llama clip. So it is a little bit of jewels throughout it. There's a secret little hidden envelope in the back cover with some goodies in it. Pink Llama, she's available. We're getting down to the end. Scuttle is, so aside from the Little Golden Book, Taylor Swift Little Golden Book, this is the only other storybook journal I have in the shop. This one's Scuttle the Stowaway Mouse. I know I did a flip through of this one. It's about a little mouse, and he's basically, this is very pirate themed, ship theme, little story about a mouse. The story is intact, which makes it a storybook journal. Of course, a lot of images from the book, a lot of pirate and ocean themed goodies throughout. A little shaker card with a message in a bottle. Lots of trim and fun goodies on this one. This is a treasure chest full of goodies. There's Scuttle, our little mouse friend. He has this part of the story is where he dumps over the treasure chest and coins come out, and so we've got some coins to go along with you. So yeah, that's a little storybook journal that we got. Scuttle the mouse, the stowaway mouse. Get all the coins down to one side. It's available. I love doing the storybook journals. They are a little more challenging to keep the story intact, but they are fun for sure. So that one's available. And then my latest that I just uploaded today, and if you've been following me, you've seen my most recent flip through of her. This is my Frida journal. 3 signatures. Excuse me, I got the hiccups, but she is big. 3-inch spine, tied with some sari silk beads. This book is a paper doll book, very much Frida themed. But there's a paper doll, a Frida paper doll. She's tied in tight so she doesn't run loose. So you'll see her outfits throughout this one, tucked in as journal cards. Again, very much a Frida theme, bright, colorful. It's got some avocado dyed paper in it. Lots of Mexican themed, bright, colorful images, lots of tuck spots, cards. Again, her outfits are throughout to play paper dolls. I just did a flip through of this, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but she is available as well. So there you go. That covers everything that's in my shop right now. Excuse me. I think I only have 1 or 2 more winter ones that I need to get uploaded into my shop. That's kind of what I'm working on today. Like I said, just kind of gathering my goods, getting my shop up to date, making sure everybody's labeled and tagged, and everybody's I sign all my journals, and so that's just kind of what I'm doing today. Is making sure my inventory is good to go. So I encourage you, and I would ask you please to check out my Etsy shop. If there's anything you like, holiday season is coming up. So be sure and check it out. Share with your friends all these goodies that I've got. And in the meantime, I'm just piling all these up here for you. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to creating. I just finished up my Frida journal, and I haven't yet decided which one to work on next. So that's what I'm going to do. After I get all my inventory good to go and I'm comfortable with that, then I'm going to jump into creating something else. I really want to do another storybook journal, so I might flip through my kids' books and see what tickles my fancy for that. So anyways, thanks for joining me as I went through a little shop update, my Etsy shop, and I'll link it below. Maybe not today, but probably tomorrow, because the way the phone and the computer do for me. But anyways, that's all techie stuff that I don't know or understand. But my Etsy shop will be linked below. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for following along, seeing what all I've got, and seeing what all I've been doing this summer, because most of this is stuff that I've been working on this summer. So my plan this summer was to build my inventory, and I think I did. So anyways, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.